Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Bibi Babatunde-Ikotun and I'm a faith and lifestyle blogger. Let's just call me a content creator based in Ontario, Canada. So by the topic of today, I'm going to be talking about cost of living in Ontario. Ontario, for starters, can be really expensive. So there are a couple of things that I would advise people to do. I'm actually doing this video because I did a video 3 years ago when I was new in Canada and I did a breakdown of my cost of living, which when I look back was a joke. Like I was living my best life. Even though I felt like, oh my God, my bills are paid. I was living my best life compared to now, because now, and it's funny because we're actually in the middle of moving to a new apartment and our rent will actually double, literally. So I'm just like, the name of the Lord is a strong tower. When the righteous run into it, they are saved. That is my declaration. I don't know about you, because Ontario, especially the Greater Toronto area, it's so expensive now. So I'm gonna get right into the costs of living. I'll break it down. If there's anything I miss, please feel free to ask about it in the chat session. I'll be more than happy to respond. And I will start with the first thing: rent. Rent is the one of the biggest, I would say, is the biggest cost of anybody's living cost. So it can be rent for those that are tenants that are renting, or mortgage for those that are homeowners. So rent can be very expensive. You know, me, I like to be financially prudent and organized, and I always advise people that your rent should not be more than 35% of your income, just so if anything ever happens to your income, you still be able to survive. But that does not that does not apply to people living in Greater Toronto area, because I know people that are spending 50 to 60% of their income on rent, which is sad because you're then in a dire situation. Like if you lose your job, that is really a hard situation to be in. So it's the reality. Rent is expensive. So we currently live in a basement apartment and we pay $1,100 per month as rent. So we live in a 1-bedroom basement apartment in Greater Toronto area. So I would say Pickering to be exact, which is like a few minutes, like it's not far from the Greater Toronto area, but it's sort of like rural Pickering. So what's a basement apartment, for those that don't know? In Canada, the way they build houses, right, they build it with a basement, and a basement is just basically under the house. That's what a basement is. So under the house comes with like a couple of rooms. So some people, to make up the cost of their mortgage, they rent out their basement apartment to people and they use that money as added income to pay their mortgage or whatever. So basements are different everywhere. There are some basements that are actually luxury basements. Like you go inside and you're like, wow, this place is so beautiful. Some basements are like sad. For example, the basement I first lived when I moved to Canada back in 2019, I didn't even have a door. But you know, when you're just moving to a country, you didn't care about a lot of things. You just want to have a place to lay your head, go to work, eat, and mind your business. You're not thinking about luxury. You're not. I mean, some people think about that, but for me personally, when I was first moving to Canada, I did not care about luxury. Do I have a bed to sleep? Yes. Can I have my bath in peace? Yes. So I wasn't looking for a lot. So I didn't have a window in my room. Some basements have windows, some don't. I didn't have a window. It was like I was living in a box. It was finally when I moved out of there that I was like, chalet. I was literally living in a box. So many times people go for the basement apartment because it's cheaper by a few dollars, especially the 1-bedroom one. So when I moved out of my previous apartment, that one I was paying $750. Me and my friend, we shared the $750 each, and our rent was like 1.5 for a 2-bedroom basement. So when we moved out, we moved into another 2-bedroom basement, but this one had windows. And the funny thing is that if we had calculated it right, we would have actually been able to afford a condo, but we didn't know any better, which is something that you should be on the lookout for if you're planning to rent with someone. Because the new place we moved into was $850 each per month for rent, but with basement apartments, they will ask you to pay a percentage of the full house utilities. So let's say water, hydro, heat, trash. I think those are the 4 main utilities. So whatever the bill for those 4 utilities per month, some basements, they will ask you to pay 30%. In my current basement, we pay 40 40% in my current basement. My last one, we're paying 30%. So sometimes the bill can come up to like $250 a month. Sometimes it can be more, right? So currently, it depends. Some months we can pay as high as $90 a month for utilities, and some other months we can pay as high as $250, even $300, especially in the summer months when it's hot and we're using a lot more air conditioning. So for me and my friend, then we're paying $850 a month, but by the time we added utilities, we're paying well up to $2,200 a month for rent, which could have gotten us a condo apartment, and in the condo we'll probably only be paying for hydro. So even if both of us were paying 1k each for rent in a condo apartment, we might have been paying for hydro. By the time we split hydro between both of us, $50, probably be 25. Maybe we also pay for Wi-Fi and that $50. So maybe max our total bill would be like $1,050, which was what we're paying in the basement, but we didn't know, because you never know what that 40% of utilities will add up to. So most times you just say, yes, my rent is cheaper, but your utilities, have you thought about that? So that's something to really put in mind when you're finding a place. So basements are not bad. I think basements are a really good place for new immigrant families to start up, because sometimes basements can be rented out by someone from your country. So number one, you don't have a credit score, and they're really taking a chance on you, because tenants here have rights. Your landlord can't just kick you out. He has to follow due process and due procedure. So anything can happen. So when you find someone that's from your country and they have a home and they'll like to rent the basement out to you, you might want to take it. So I think it's a good place to start for new immigrants. There's no shame in living in the basement. Some basements are nice. I think our current basement we are living in is a bit nice. It has little windows, because I said it's underground. So your window will just be small and you'll just be able to see outside. But you can't stand and be looking outside, right? It's way above your head. I will shake my camera now to show you guys, but it will distort things. So maybe I'll put a recording in my next video. I'm doing a different video on how to rent an apartment, and I'll do an empty apartment tour, so you guys know what the basement apartment looks like. So just be on the lookout for that. So that's the first thing. Rent is so important. It takes a large chunk of your money, but everyone deserves a nice place to sleep. There are many cons with living in a basement though. For example, if you're living in the basement where you have a landlord and landlord has young children, they can be running around shouting. Sometimes maybe in some of my YouTube videos you might have even heard their sound. That's a con. If you're living in a condo, nobody's running up and down, because most times the walls are insulated, so you can't really hear what your neighbor is doing or the person above you is doing or anything. So that's a con. Number two, if you have a landlord that is not very nice, or you can fall into troubles, there can be drama, even things like taking out the trash. There can be so many drama. So, but like I said, it's a good place to start. I thank God for my life, because I've lived in basement for like this is my 3rd year of living in basement, and finally we are moving to a condo apartment, to the glory of God. So it's a good place to start. Just manage the salary you're getting, put it together, and just get a basement. It's good to share with someone too as well, so at least that way to reduce cost. Because imagine paying 1k for rent when you can pay $850. And I'm lying, because basement has even gotten expensive. By the time we started searching for a new apartment, I was seeing basement of 1.5, 1 bedroom. I say, what's happening in this country? Are they seeing us? Hey, I'm like, it's so it's ridiculous. Things are ridiculously expensive right now. I don't know why. I don't know if the government is seeing what's happening, but things are getting really expensive. But anyway, so the next thing, I already spoke about the next thing, utilities. You can spend from between $90 to $250. So utilities differ per where you're living. Like I said, basement apartment, paying 30% of total cost or 40%. Another thing you should do is negotiate. So now we're paying 40% of total cost, but the people living upstairs are like 5 or 6 and we're 2. I mean, I didn't know that at the time. So these are questions you should ask. And I'm sharing this so you don't make the mistakes I made. So you should ask questions. How many people are living up there? You're asking me to pay 40%. If you guys are 5 and maybe you have a little baby, which means you're using more water, more heat, and we're 2. Oh, yeah, can reduce it. Tell us to pay 20%, right? Reduce the cost. I said like it. So you can always negotiate these things. We didn't, because I just wanted a place. I was tired. So I didn't think too much about it. I mean, and I really saw where, but to the glory of God, I'm okay. I'm okay now. So utilities can cost between anywhere to $90 to $250. And what are utilities? So from your water that comes out of your tap, to the heater, to your electricity, I think they call it electricity, hydro here, to your Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi is hardly ever included in apartments. But if you get like a condo, some condos have like well, high-speed Wi-Fi all through, so you can get in your apartment. And sometimes washer and dryer too is part of utilities, because if you don't have a washer and dryer in your unit, most basement apartments you share with your landlord, washer and dryer. But sometimes there might be drama, maybe they've been washing all day and you could not wash, so sometimes you might actually go out to go and use a laundromat, which will cost you up to $20. So that's all utilities, between 90 to 250. It can be more depending on your predicament. It's different for everybody, so just know that that's a very important cost. The next thing is a car note. So there are two options when you want to buy a car in Canada. Maybe I will do a video on that and bring a consultant to just talk about car buying. But when you want to buy a car in Canada, you have two options. You can either buy a car cash outright, or you finance a car. For me, in my option, I financed the car. Why? Because I wanted a newer car. I bought my car back in 2020 and it was a 2019 Nissan. I don't remember how much I bought it, but I got a loan for the car from RBC, so I financed it. So I'll be paying monthly for 5 years. So this is year 3. I don't know. I try to pay for the next 5 years. I didn't mind because I wanted a new car. The car I got was a car that was used for rental services, so that means it wasn't for personal use, which that's a good thing, because then it's only people that are renting it that are using it. In fact, it was recently my husband was telling me that, Bibi, you actually got a really new car, because when we checked the mileage, I don't think that car was up to 30,000 mileage when I bought the car. Can you imagine? So I didn't mind. So for my car note, I pay 162 bi-weekly. So that, I don't know maths, but 162 plus 162 bi-weekly. So that's what I pay for the car. With car, you need insurance. I know back in Nigeria, I don't think insurance is compulsory, but I may be lying, I'm not sure. But here, insurance is very compulsory. It's actually illegal for you not to have insurance on your car. You can actually get arrested, jail time, or pay hefty fines. In fact, you will not even take the car out of the parking lot unless you show the buyer that you've gotten insurance on that car. It's very serious. And when I started, my insurance was expensive, because number one, I think I was under 25. When you're under 25, I was living in Richmond Hill then, which is like I think it's a busier, because they have like ways they calculate insurance. I don't know, you can Google it. They calculate insurance based on your zip code. So for example, a place like Brampton, where they used to drive like anyhow, their insurance is very high because they do drive rough in Brampton. Nobody from Brampton should come for me, because every time I go to Brampton, I'm always scared. They drive really rough. But now we live in Pickering, which is like, I don't even think it's a city of up to 100,000 people. So my insurance significantly went down. But when I started, I was paying as high as $500. Guys, I've been through stuff. Oh, I was paying as high as $500. Then with time, I was with Desjardins then. That was my first time. So from Desjardins, I moved to TD. I'm still with TD Insurance. Then it came down to the glory of God. Now I'm paying 270. No, actually, maybe 290. 270 or 290. I'm not quite sure. But now that's what I'm paying for my insurance now, which is better, because I've come a long way. That time, my throat, it choked me. Because I was like, how will I be paying $500 for insurance? How many places am I going to? But many times I spoke to other new immigrants. They say many times your insurance is always very expensive in your first year for certain factors. Like my insurance would not have been that expensive if I had like previous insurance record. I did when I was living in the States. But if you break between your insurance record, it means that you're going to have to start again. So for them, like you've had years when you didn't have insurance. So anyways, there's so many factors. But to the glory of God, now I'm paying as low as $277, and I'm very happy. I can't wait for when I'll start paying $100 for insurance, because I'll be so glad. I'll be so thankful. And I think it also depends on the kind of insurance you get. I think I have a comprehensive coverage for everything, because like I said, it's a newer car. I don't want anything to happen to it and I have to start pulling out money from my pocket. No, insurance will pay for it. Hopefully nothing happens to my car, in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen. I already talked about insurance. Next, in groceries. Food is so expensive now. You just cough, you spend money. Groceries are getting really expensive. Tomatoes, peppers. And if you're Nigerian or from Africa and you want to go to African store and buy like your normal things that you use to cook your African recipes, is expensive. So sometimes you can spend as high as $600 a month on groceries. And it also depends on the size of your family. For my family, we're just two, my husband and I, and we're spending up to $500 a month on food. For real. So it's probably like $100 a month. But $100 a week, so like about $400. And we also have like an Instacart subscription. So by the time you add everything together, you add tip, you're spending close to like $500, $600 a month. That's expensive. Food is expensive, so just be prepared to come and spend on food. Except if you be doing intermittent fasting, which in that case, or be fasting to the glory of God. Nothing spoiled. It's your choice. But food is so expensive. And also you want to try, you want to go out to restaurants, try out food, have that luxury life. I didn't have that luxury life when I first moved. I remember when I first moved, my sister was like, Bibi, you don't even used to go out. When you're in America, you're always going out to brunch with your friend, dinner, nice restaurants. You do. I said, you people don't know what I'm going through in this country. You don't know how this country is happening to me. So nobody should ask me where I'm gonna go. I'm sitting in my house. There's rice at home. There is rice at home. Thank God. No, I don't want to thank God for the pandemic. But there's also a pandemic. We've been going out less. So like, I mean, we order in once in a while and all. But you don't have to do that. You can always cook if you want to like save money and not spend a lot on Uber Eats and things like that. So the next thing that would chop your money is if you have a car. Oh, I forgot to say. So we finance. So if you don't finance a car, you put a lump sum. So you can just buy the old car down for like 7K or 10K. Just put cash down, buy it once and for all. I didn't do that. I already explained that. But there's another option. I didn't have a car when I first moved to Canada. For a good 1 year, I was trekking inside snow. My toes like this, it will be frozen. Hey, like when I come back from work, I'll have to go and sit under the shower for like 15 minutes just to defrost my body. So I didn't have a car for and I was living in Richmond, I was working in Vaughan. So I'll take 2 buses and trek 15 minutes. Yeah, Jemio. I saw life. So I didn't have a car. So you don't have to have a car your first year of moving. I understand with families, you might want to have a car because of your children and things like that, but you don't have to have a car yet. Ontario has a decent transportation system. It's not bad. It's okay. And you can always get like a Presto card. You load your Presto card. Then I'll spend like maybe 250 or 200 a month for my transportation. So you can always like get a Presto card. Don't stress yourself about buying a car. It's expensive. It increases your expenditures. It's not time. You can wait. But if you're a family, you might consider it because to make sense for you. You might not want to be carrying your children up and down the bus, and also it's your choice. So those are all the major expenses. I mean, as a woman, you want to do your nails. There's no nail of $20 or 70 from $50 to $70. Even me, I don't even used to do shellac gel, and they will still charge me like $40 for that. So if you want to do your nails, you want to get your lashes done, your hair done. My person that does my hair is like my big mommy's daughter, so it's not very expensive. So you can always find connections like that. If you want to do your hair, you braid $120, $150, $250, or you want to do like waxing, like all those things, like personal care stuff adds up. So I'm not gonna add that as part of your expenses because you can actually do without them. You can actually, like, I'm currently putting on a pretty wig. So if you don't want to get your hair done, you can put on a wig. If you don't want to get your nails done, you can put on nail polish, buy nail polish from Dollarama, paint your nails, and you still look cute. Do your makeup. Nobody would know that you didn't spend money. So those ones are not necessities, which is why I would not talk about them extensively. They're simply just a choice thing. My husband cuts his hair for how much? $25, Abby. $35. I wish I could do my hair for $35. I'll be so happy. But unfortunately, I'm a woman and I don't do my hair for $35. So those are all the major expenses I can think of. If there's anything that you're interested in, you can ask me. I kind of calculated everything, and our monthly expenses looks like it's entering 2,800. And it's about to triple with this new place double with this new place that we're moving into, because when you move, your insurance will probably go up, and you get this and you get that, and your rent is blah blah blah. But you know what, let me just encourage you. I don't want you to watch this and start fretting and be like, oh my God, where am I going to make that money from? I want you to know that God indeed is your provider. That's why they call him Jehovah Jireh. And you know, when you listen to that song, that Jehovah Jireh song, it says even if he cares about the birds on the air, the fish in the sea, he provides for them. Or is it not now you? He'll provide for you. Keep trusting. You get a job. If you need any advice about moving to Canada, you can always reach out to me via email. I'm more than happy to respond. I know as young people navigating moving to a new country all by yourself, it's a culture shock. There's a lot to learn, and I'd like to help people not to make mistakes in whatever capacity I can. So reach out to me if there's any questions you have specifically, and don't be afraid. You get a good job in Jesus' name, and when you get a good job, you'll be able to afford these things and live a decent life, and just, yeah, don't be scared. God cares about you. God is very intentional about you. He will provide. Just keep trusting, keep praying, and yeah, you find a good job. Keep putting yourself out there. Don't just sit at home and be like, oh, everything's going to come and meet me. No, no, no. Put yourself out there. God will make a way. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you learned a lot. Don't forget, you can ask me questions in the comment section. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps my YouTube channel. I'm really trying to grow my channel this year, so I'm really hoping that you would help me achieve this, as I want to grow my channel this year. So hit that subscribe button, like, and share on your Twitter, share on your Facebook, share on your WhatsApp. Until I see you next time, bye.